one, this one came out this month actually. Next month they're going to be released some of the twins, and they're also announcing a pant. So what Max Factory is doing, and actually they're very smart about it. The problem with Miku is that there is not a lot of official art of there. So it's basically the same pose linked to the side. So we have 3 or 4 figures of different companies with the same pose, and Max Factory is like, okay, we'll be different. And there is a lot of material out there of Vocaloid, and they're going after it, and I think it's a great way to get a hold of your money.
I think they're going to make every single drawing into a statue at one point or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which is really good news for me.
Or bad.
But whatever. So, anyway, but, okay, well, unless there's anything else that you want to, I think we should go on to
Okay, let's move on. Okay, so, I guess to summarize what we're trying to say, I mean, the topic is just vast, and you can talk about hours and hours about this, but I guess the main thing we're trying to talk about is
4 pieces of wisdom. Let's cut it down so our ramble is a little bit easier. Start small. So if you don't have a collection already, buy something small. Don't feel like you have to roll into a dealer's room at a con or go onto a website like Hobby Search and buy a $300 figure. Start with an Nendoroid, a Figma, or a Reveltech. That's the easiest way to do it. You know, if you have a small budget, you can still start collecting some really cool toys and not have to blow your wallet out of the water. 2.
Alright, it's me. Be price conscious. If you go to the dealer room specifically, you're going to see a lot of these statues going for quite a bit of money, usually in the triple digits. The NO2 is averaging about $200. Dealer rooms really aren't the best place to be finding toys like this, because a lot of times, you know, the dealer, they have to make their profit. It's a business. But if you do your research and you look online, you Google it, and you go to several of the basic websites, a lot of them we link through on Tomopop, you'll be able to find them for the base price and even discounted on the base price, and you can get discounted shipping because they always have sales. There's always a sale going on. No matter where you're going to go, you're going to find whatever you want cheaper than the other place you're going to find. If you do your research, you can find VNO2 for about $120. I saw it drop down to 110 at one point. So, and then with the shipping, which will be about $20 or $30, it'll be there in a week. So you're looking at like about $150 compared to $200. $50, that in itself is another figure. That right there is an Nendoroid. So what I'm telling you is, stay away from eBay, and unless you're desperate, don't really look at cons, and be sure you know your websites. And be sure to visit them often enough to be able to know when a sale's going on.
A quick point on that too, 2 other really good resources are myfigurecollection.net. They have a trading thing there where you can find some incredible figures at pretty reasonable prices. And also I believe the entry of the classified section. I'm not sure if it's still active and running or not.
Yes,
it is.
Yeah, it is. But those are also 2 really good resources, so yeah, don't feel like you have to get gouged. Yes?
Say that website again.
Pardon?
You mentioned the website.
Repeat the website.
My figure collection.
Oh yeah, myfigurecollection.net.
I think
Is there an internet cable here?
We'll double check and be 100% sure, but it's called My Figure Collection. If you search it all one word like that, you'll find it for sure.
Your name is .net. .net.
.net. Thanks. Okay. Cool.
Something to add to that. We're not trying to say don't buy anything in the dealer's room. I mean, you always find good little gems in there. For example, this gentleman over here, he was able to find the look at a decent price. He got it for 52. If you keep in mind the exchange rate and shipping and the fact that she's actually a pretty popular figure that is no longer in production, it's not a bad deal. I was going to buy an index from a certain magical index.
Yeah.
I saw it for 115. If you consider the fact that the original price is 8,000 yen, which is about $85 to $90, it's not too much of a markup if you consider how much you will have to pay for shipping from Japan. You have to consider many factors. So, you know, the more you know.
Yeah, be educated. That's the thing. Is don't make snap judgments. Like don't see something and get a figure lust and then drop down the cash and then return it later. kind of do your if there's a character you like, do a little bit of research and see if there's other stuff out there, and you might keep yourself from getting gouged.
Clint's going to talk about how to appreciate your figures.
Well, appreciating your figures it's kind of part of what they're talking about too, is that when you start getting in the hobby, I know a lot of people who got in the hobby who buy one figure and they pre-order 2, then 4, then 8, then 12 in 3 months. And then they just wind up. Yeah, because I mean, like, just even with the Wonderfest photos that we just saw too, there's so much good stuff coming out, so much stuff where you're just like, I want that you sometimes, like, as soon as you unbox the figure you have, it's just like, okay, what's next? And, you know, a way to, and that, you know, that kind of like doesn't, I don't know, I guess I don't really want, I guess respect the figure or respect the art of the figure. So if you sit down, you know, have it at your desk, you know, whenever you do your emails in the morning and stuff like that, you know, just learn to appreciate what you've got instead of always chasing after the new coolest thing, I guess is what I'm saying.
I have chills.
So I guess this picture is a good example of how relatively inexpensive and simple figure it can be prettier than the latest and greatest.
I'm a fan of her.
Yeah, it was pretty much overlooked, but it's the kind of figure that I wish people would appreciate more.
Speaking of that, make an informed choice and learn from your purchases. Val, would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, first of all, I think 12 figures, giving you a haircut for 12 figures, that's nothing. 20 more at 25, nah. nah, just kidding. Okay. Well, I mean, buying figures is like buying anything else, like buying a car, right? You can get a car, if you don't like the car, or if the car fails after 1 month, I don't think you're going to go back to the same agency to buy the car, right? Same thing. Companies usually have certain level of consistency in how they do things. Sometimes actually they do something better than the average, sometimes they do something less good than the average. But at the end of the day, if you buy something, like it or not, use the experience of that purchase to consider for the next time you buy something. There have been a couple figures that I bought for a quite amount of money because, oh my god, it's Saber, an Archer, and Rim from Fate Stay Night, and I ordered from Japan, and they came in like, they eventually came in, I opened the box, I was like, wow, disappointing. I never bought from that company again. So in the same way, if there is a company that you really like, or if you get something from a company and you like it, yes, keep an eye on what they do. And every time you go to a site to buy a figure, they have more than enough information than you need to be able to make your purchase. They tell you what company it is, they have certain consistency, they tell you what size it is, so you know that you don't want to pay $100 for a figure that is only this size, right? They also tell you who is the designer, who, believe it or not, like a lot of the styles of the figures are like any other art, you know? Like if you're a fan of an artist, if you like the art for one anime, you maybe want to look at the anime they work on. Same thing. This figure, and I think that figure, they're from the same sculptor. And as you can see, this guy is very good at making dynamic figures, and I really like dynamic figures. So usually look for what this guy does. There's a lot of information out there. There's communities, there's websites, the internet is vast. Google, if it's on the internet, Google has it. Look for as much information as you can so you can make the purchase that is going to make you happy, because the best figure you can get is the one that makes you happy.
Yeah, definitely use your fellow collector on the internet. There's a lot of them.
Okay, it is time for the Q&A. If anyone would like to ask any questions, please feel free to come actually up to the mic, and we will answer one by one.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to give figures away after the Q&A, so if you want to win some, you might want to stay.
Not all.
Just saying.
Sold.
Actually, I'm pretty new to the scene. Actually, I probably started collecting about a year and a half ago, and I actually just ran across Toa within the past couple months. And I appreciate this. I appreciate your work on it.
Thank you.
My question was, I know there's probably some correlation, but like, I know people are scared about the anime industry a little bit. Does that affect the figure scene as well? Like, or do you know if it does?
From what I'm able to tell, and I'd like the others to comment on this as well, the figure scene is utterly unhindered. Like they just keep blasting out, and people keep buying them, and we keep seeing figures come out and open for pre-order, and literally the pre-orders like go through like an hour, or whatever. Like for major figures, like I know for this was like one of those things that came out on the internet, was immediately sold through on pre-orders. So I don't know where people are getting all this money from, but apparently like it's not affecting anything, because when a figure has got a lot of buzz around it and it opens for pre-order, it still blows through, it still sells. Now, I mean, that might be a really interesting question to ask people in the dealer's room as well, and how it may affect them. But we haven't seen anything. Hey, what would you say? Like,
I'd say I don't think anime boomer bust has really affected the figure scene. I'd say what it really is more affecting the dealer scene, or rather the figure scene, is trends in the anime itself, like seeing more moe figures, seeing more Ikitosen figures, seeing more Queensgate. You're seeing more big boobs, less clothing, and very big. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But on the other hand, there was several photos posted a couple months back about Karuonsho from Ikitosen, where there was several hundred figures, like at least over 200 or 100
it's over 200 figures of one character.
Ridiculous, and not trading figures, like full-size $100+ statues, and there are people that collect them. So
all of them.
It's more that you just